So welcome to Condy Park Preschool and Kindergarten. My name's Kathy, I'm the Director of the service. And today we're going to have a conversation with two of our teachers, Ellen and Gillian, around what play-based learning looks like and how that looks in our particular kindergarten as an excellent rated service with a CEQA. We respect and understand that in other services it may look different, as it should, because we need to be reflective of our community and our needs and our children and families. But this is just a short chat about what you'll expect to see when you come and visit with us. So we're going to have a conversation about what play-based learning looks like and in particular how that learning takes place in our kindergarten of Condy Park and what parents or what community members might expect to see once they come and visit with us as an excellence rated service with a CEQA. First photograph that we're going to be looking at today is really about those social connections that children make whilst they come and engage in our environments.
Well, the way they can question, so just like hanging that bucket over, you can imagine the conversations. What will happen if we drop it? Are we trying to pull it back up? So they're predicting, they're making assumptions,
Yep.
they're learning from their questioning themselves and each other.
Good collaboration.
And taking turns as well,
That's
isn't it?
right, and trial and error.
Yep,
If it doesn't
exactly
work,
right.
And is it heavier if we put more sand or bark in it, or what if we put rocks in it? And
Yes,
so
so is
then
a rope
we-
long enough?
yes.
That's
So
it.
they question each other through those social connections. We're there as facilitators,
Yep.
but we often just get pushed away because they're so confident and capable.
Yeah, you can see that they're very capable, that they're engaged in what they're doing, they're absorbed. They don't need any adult intervention at
that's
all
right.
there, do they? Because they are capable of
And sometimes we're there just to give that prompt, aren't
Yes,
we? Or to
that's
take
right.
that play to that next level
yes,
with the questioning
providing
around
resources. Yes,
That's it.
Or they just invite us into the play.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
They'll often do that. Oh, I've made a birthday cake for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
how do I know it's birthday cake? And then we go,
Yes.
oh, we need candles, so they go and search, finding the resources they need to extend that play.
And just that sense of joy you can see in that photograph at the
Yes.
moment.
Yeah.
It's just
You know,
gorgeous,
having
isn't it?
that mate to go for a swing with, and then the children take turns at swinging each
And-
other
And that bit of risk there that you can see, and
Yep.
the awareness that the children have of holding on.
Yeah.
You know, they know what they need to do in their play.
and the extension of their play is really
Mm.
important. So that links back to like our Queensland Kindergarten Learning Guidelines, our curriculum framework.
Yes.
It allows us to assess where those children are developing and heading towards.
Yes,
Definitely.
that's right.
Bringing in that dual slide, that two slide has brought on so much more social
That's
play.
it. That's it.
Hasn't it?
And the way they think, oh, if we put on a hat or put on a piece of cardboard, we'll go faster, and then they
That's
race.
And they've got more opportunity to climb up the slide too.
Yes, because it's not as steep as well,
That's
and
exactly right.
and because it's flat on the hill.
But it's that
Yeah.
negotiation once again about if someone's going down, I need to come up.
And it's a lot
being
more
aware of
social, like I
others.
know with children that, you know, can you come and watch me on the slide? Well, I can see so-and-so at the slide, let's go together and you can play with them.
That's right.
And because they can do it together, they're building those social connections a lot quicker.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of project work around the slide as well, that it allows the children to work out our young circles and to have that conversation of who they're going to share that space with.
Mm.
Yes.
Whether they're going to use the cardboard because they want to go faster down that
Yes.
slide, or if we've just had a big downpour of rain like we have
Mm.
today,
Yes.
how that's going to affect their play and
That's
how
exactly
that's going to
right.
affect their speed and
Yes.
predicting what's going to
That's
take
right.
place.
Mm.
Yes.
So the next photograph also is more about intentional teaching,
That's right.
and it's giving us an opportunity to say yes, we do use a play-based learning model,
Yes.
but there still are those learning outcomes
That's
associated
right.
to our
Yes,
curriculum
and there's
framework.
always a reason and learning behind what we do.
That's it.
Every
So
moment.
at that beginning of the day when we have that initial yarning circle, that's when we're building the foundation of today. We're reading our story,
Yep.
which is going to extend onto craft or extend into their play as they find, you know, different things to impact. I've many times seen children then acting out the story,
Yes.
using
Yes.
puppets or making things from the craft that they made in the story. Or
That's right, because they have those available at all times, don't they?
Yeah,
Those additional
exactly.
resources.
And
And
working
you'll
both
help
in
them.
those larger groups and those smaller groups,
Mm.
and
Yes.
giving them those social cues to be able to negotiate and turn take and share and
Mm.
um,
Absolutely.
yeah. and having those games with rules, I suppose, as well.
Absolutely.
So they start developing those really early on, don't they?
Yes.
So with the more resources that we provide and
Yes.
ensuring that we tap into what their particular interests and goals are
Yes.
themselves, not ours,
No.
but the
Yes,
child's.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
And they're
And
very
you're extensive.
confident, aren't they? The children are very confident in our
Absolutely.
environment to know that they can ask
Yeah.
or that they are able to use materials in different ways.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
And then
that-
they look after the garden because then they can pick the flowers to put into their play if they're decorating
That's
the
right, or
sand
making a
castle
potion.
or making a potion, or today they were going on a treasure hunt, and so all the gems and things we've got in the garden, they've gone and hid them and found them again.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, so having that environment where having intentional teaching class, setting up the environment so that they can build those
Yeah.
imaginary plays.
Yeah, and following on their particular interests. So, as the teachers, that we set those goals from a child's perspective,
Yes.
as well as from a parent's perspective, and then also from our perspective.
That's
So
right.
having that collaboration
And
across
then you
all
have
those
that big
groups.
holistic picture too, don't you?
That's correct. Yeah, so we're going to actually make those links into our learning outcomes or into our curriculum.
Yes.
But the most important thing for children to see is that we're listening to them, we're acknowledging what they're saying,
Yes.
are extending their play. Like you can see with that photograph, giving that little boy a chance to have his own space around him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they can choose to have that quiet time, having that concurrent program gives them that time where
That's
I want to
it.
go and have a quiet space. Oh, I want to noisy space. I want to do craft. So they're not being told you need to go here, you need to go
That's
there.
right.
They can
Yeah,
go
they're
where
very
they're
empowered,
starting
aren't they? Yes.
and they're acknowledging their body when they need to eat and they want to have a quiet time when they
Yes.
want to run.
That's right. And they're getting that self-regulation.
Mm.
But that particular photograph there, I always love the story behind that one, where he was actually comparing the size of the chickens and he was reflecting back of what we just talked about at Yarning Circle. We had some measurements around how tiny the chickens were when they first hatched.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And now he was looking at the chickens and what the size they are
That's
now at
right.
15 weeks
Yes.
and how much
So-
they've grown. So you've got that link to those scientific and mathematical concepts as well.
That's right.
And now they're asking whether they're going to lay eggs.
That's
So
it.
yes,
That's
yeah.
right. So predicting once again. Yes.
And one of my wee girls said, and they need a rooster to lay eggs. So then that went into that whole learning, well actually they don't need a rooster to lay eggs.
That's it,
And
yep.
So you're further discussing that, well let's look that up on the computer and show that research. So bringing in that IT as well.
Yes.
And then we really look at, I think that's something our service does particularly well, is our engagement in the creative arts.
Absolutely.
And that's just such an important component of every aspect of learning.
That's right.
It
Yes.
flows
Has
into
a
all
huge,
corners, doesn't it?
impact on the children's learning, future learning, and the resources we provide.
Yes.
The
Yes.
different resources.
And the high quality.
Because it's not
That's
just
exactly
paint.
right. It is
Creative
not.
arts is
That's
not just
right.
paint, it's so much more.
That's
And you,
it.
you just you don't even need to buy things, you just go to the beach and collect your shells and your sticks and your twigs and
And having that messy
Yes.
play too,
Yeah.
where it doesn't matter if there's paint on the table or glue. It's as long as the child is enjoying what they're doing.
That's
That's
it.
our main focus.
It doesn't have to be clean and tidy
No.
for a parent to walk into.
But
You know, as a parent, I'd
after
rather.
consent.
No,
Clean
as
and
a
tidy.
parent, I'd love to come in and see that, perhaps it looks rather jumbled, but my child is engaged and
Or
they're
even the
exploring their
child.
mediums.
they go home dirty. I always say, they've had a good day.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And our environments are so precious to us. Fiona.
They are.
So when we gave our children and our families the opportunity to replan our whole space, it's actually been, that was 3 years ago
Yes,
now, and look
yes.
how sustainable those spaces have been.
That's
Yes.
right. And they keep on evolving too.
Yes,
don't they?
yes,
Based
they
on children's
change and grow.
interests.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, and the environments in both the outside as well as in the room, like that photograph there, those spaces can interchange
Yes.
and can evolve.
That's right.
Based again around those children's needs.
That's right.
And it's
That's
providing that bit of whimsy and that exploration where the children can
Yeah.
look in the natural environment at different types of concepts and investigate.
And
what
get
they
your
want
hands
to.
dirty.
Absolutely.
Get your feet dirty.
Yes.
That's
right.
and going out to play in the rain today.
Yes, they loved it,
So-
didn't they? That was unexpected.
It was a bit unexpected,
But,
but we don't live in a cold climate.
No,
so we're
that's
so
right.
fortunate in Queensland that you can go on
And if you don't want to go in the rain, you stay on the marina or you can go
That's
inside.
right.
So
So
there's
there's plenty of
always that
space.
choice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But there's still that responsibility attached. So when they do go in the rain or they do go and play with the water and the mud,
Yes.
they know that they need to come back and get changed.
That's
Yes.
exactly right.
So,
And they can do that themselves in
That's
return
right.
too, and they're already doing it all
I know,
themselves.
Exactly.
yes,
Yes.
they're very capable.
and then I suppose this is my favourite part to talk about, and that link to not only our curriculum and our learning outcomes, but giving children that opportunity to develop that risk-benefit approach.
Yes.
So giving them confidence and
Yes.
understanding of what that
Yes.
looks like.
That's exactly
Yes.
right. And then trusting themselves and their own abilities
Yes.
as well.
Mm.
Yes, as you can see.
And you can see the growth, just like the two sets of
Absolutely.
monkey bars. So
Yep.
they start on the lower set, and then by the end of the year, they're on
Yep.
the higher set, and they're so proud of themselves.
Oh,
and
yes, it's a huge
yeah,
achievement.
they're
isn't
standing
it?
on them.
But they're problem solving, like where they were able to work out that they got some tyres to climb up onto those
That's
monkey
right.
bars in term
Absolutely.
1.
Yes.
Whereas by term 2, term 3,
Yes.
they're actually, as you said, on top of those monkey
And
bars
that-
and standing up there and looking at the world
And
around
that
them.
child said that to me yesterday, I don't need the tyres anymore because he was on top of the monkey bars.
And they actually talk each other through it.
Yeah.
They do,
Like,
yes.
It's a lot
Someone
of
sees
collaboration,
someone do it, so
isn't
they say,
it?
well, this is how you do it, and they'll show them, and
That's
you need to
right.
put your hand here, and so the children are actually talking them through it.
That's right. Well, that's
Yeah.
the
And they've
whole
seen
thing.
us do that, and they're taking
Yes.
that ownership now, and they're doing it with their friends.
And they're accepting that if it doesn't work the first time,
Yes.
it's okay.
Yeah,
Give it a
that's
try
right.
again and try again.
Yes.
And if we fall over and graze our knee, that's okay.
It's okay,
We
we'll
don't
get back
need
up.
to.
Get back up
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Keep on
Exactly.
going.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I think for play-based learning for us in our service, I couldn't imagine another way of teaching.
No, definitely not.
So
Not when you see the joy and the outcomes the children achieve through this environment. It's just
and children having that choice. So in our concurrent program, that they can choose to go inside or outside. They can choose to go across the whole kindergarten,
yes.
and all the teachers document who they're with and then share it back to their teachers.
Yeah.
They're just so much more confident and capable than
Yes.
they've been. I've seen the change, and I've been here
Yeah.
10 years, and I've seen the change in the
Mm.
last 5 years, and how much more confident and capable they are, because they can take those risks, and they can make that choice of where
That's
they want to play
right.
and how
And I
they
think
want to
because
play.
we trust in the children,
Yes.
trusting them and know that they are
Yeah.
very able to do things.
So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our conversation today, and thank you to Gillian and thank you to Ellen, who have done an amazing job of sharing their journey and their style of teaching with you. We encourage anyone to come in and visit with our service. You don't need to make an appointment. You're welcome to pop in at any time, and you can meet any of us and have a further, more in-depth conversation about the learning and the teaching that you'll see at Combi Park.